Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Carrice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
It's Christy J from the Chisholm Report. You're tuned in to Hot 702.5.
This is Hot 702.5.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
All right. You guys are tuned in to the Shady Ass Tea right here on hot7025fm.com. I am fine ass Carrice, and I am here with my cousin host, Sir. How are you feeling today, sir?
You know what? I tell you, every time we get here, I might have been having the shittiest day ever, and I might have had that day today.
And now you back in the game. We just like refresh. We drink the tea, and we get refreshed.
Absolutely.
I feel like the weather change that's out here is kind of wild. Okay, because it's like summer and then it's winter.
It's winter out here,
and we're talking about in the morning.
Yeah,
we're talking about
in the morning and it's winter in the evening. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's I don't want to say freezing because I'm speaking hyperbole, so it's not freezing. But it was warmer yesterday than when I woke up this morning and I walked outside. I had to come back in and put a jacket on because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Am I in the right place? What's really going on? Yeah, am I in the right place? Did I really wake up? Am I dreaming? I wasn't sure.
And you did. And you woke up and it was what it was. And here we are today.
Yeah.
So how was your week? What was your tea of the week?
I got a lot of tea. I can't share personally right now.
Why can't you share the tea, Joe?
Yeah, because it ain't not yet. Some tea needs to, it needs to simmer a little more.
Like let it marinate.
Let it marinate. Yeah, but all in all, I had a really, really fantastic week. I didn't have to run nobody over with my car.
Well,
that was nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because some weeks I do have to do that. I went out.
I'm gonna need you not to be. I'm gonna need you not to run people over in your car, sir.
Have you ever hit somebody with your car?
I'm really trying to really think back. Have I ever hit someone?
Have you ever ran someone over?
Not on purpose.
Oh, okay. That's a more specific question. I have definitely hit somebody with my car on purpose.
See?
I've also put someone in my
feds. Trunk. It was past the statute of limitations.
Yeah,
we're good over here.
The person I hit with my car, the person I put in my trunk, won't ever say anything, so I don't have to worry about anything happening to me. But understand that if we ever beefing, you might get put in the trunk. I might have to be like.
First of all, I feel like you're incriminating yourself at this moment, and
I'm not. It's all jokes. We're joking.
Okay.
I'm not a monster. I'm not like raping people or hanging people off cliffs or anything. Like, I'm just saying, leave me alone.
Are we sure?
I'm definitely sure I'm not raping people. Rape is one of those crimes that never needs to happen. You know what I mean? There are crimes that need to happen, right? Sometimes people need to get murdered. Sometimes people need to get robbed. Sometimes people need to get beat up.
Boy, let's talk. Did you ask me what was my tea of the week? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me show y'all my tea of the week. Shout out to my lock journey, child.
Yeah.
We are here. And we are on this journey together.
I love it.
Okay.
We love it.
We are on this journey together.
We love her. We love a natural sister.
I mean, I've been natural.
Be a sister.
Stop. Listen, I've been natural. And if y'all still out there getting perms, you know what? I'm not gonna perm shame, but I am gonna perm shame.
You see, I got little braids.
Come through braids.
Little braid situation. Little snatched, little.
I saw you. She
situation.
Come through with the braids and all, child. Yes.
They got a little hang time. I'm not a chicken head. Y'all can for those out there who are wondering, not a chicken head.
Right. I'm so glad that you are not a chicken head. But yeah, that's my tea of the week. And so today on this show, we're gonna go over two things. Okay, we're only spilling 2 pots of tea, and one of them has to do with Diddy and Cassie, and the other pot of tea has to do with the will book that we've all been reading together. Okay, so we are going through chapters 1 through 12. I might spill some tea on some of the other chapters because I did kind of, I'm an overachiever.
I'm an overachiever.
So yeah, that's what it is. So shout out to all of you guys who are listening live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. If you're listening on hot7025fm.com, if you're listening on our Hot 7025 FM app, wherever you listen, click that share button, tell your friends about us, because man, we got a whole lot of tea to spill. And let's go ahead and get into this shady ass Diddy tea.
Jesus.
Because child.
Jesus. See, okay. So this is what I was saying before you thought I was incriminating myself. Diddy's been accused of a lot of things. Okay. There are some things I find that are you don't want to be a criminal, but if sometimes stealing is necessary, right? Because if you're starving to death and you steal some bread, or you steal some oxtails because you're starving to death, that makes sense. People are going to accept that, right? If someone hurts your child and you beat them up, right? People are like, okay, assault makes sense, right? If you're protecting your family, you end up killing somebody, murder makes sense. But raping somebody, right, is never, ever a requirement. There's never a point where you have to force yourself on someone sexually. And people are like, you know what, that made sense, right? And so I say that because CASSIE accused Diddy in a civil lawsuit, of domestic violence. Rape was one of the things she accused him of in their relationship. Repeated rape over their relationship. So they weren't married, so it wouldn't be spousal rape, but still, rape in your relationship is wild. And was she suing for was it $300 million?
$30 million.
$30 million. And it
was a civil suit.
Civil suit, yes.
Let's get into the details of it too.
Please,
for those of you who have been sleeping under somebody's rock, we have the tea here, okay? And we're going to revisit the whole tea. We're going to revisit the whole tea of the week because what in the is going on,
right.
Okay?
It's like somebody cracked open the gates of hell.
So this is the tea. Cassie filed a new lawsuit, and this was we're reverting back to what's happening, accusing her former long-term boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs, of rape and repeated physical abuse. Okay, so in this lawsuit, she claims that she suffered for many years of physical, emotional abuse, and at the hands of this, do we call him a mogul at this point? I don't even know what we calling him right now.
So a monster,
rapist?
I think.
What are we calling him? Because it's alleged.
It's alleged. We'll call him Diddy. at the hands of this Diddy.
We're not calling him Love because that's his new name.
We'll call him
Florida.
Diddy.
He changed his driver's license in Florida. It says Love. I don't know who he paid to do that. But anyway, in the lawsuit, she claims that she suffered, like I said, emotional and physical abuse. She also talks about how there were several instances of extreme jealousy, including where Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car. Now, the threatened, because allegedly it happened. Okay?
Yeah, Kid Cudi said this is true.
Allegedly.
Car got blown up.
Gone, child. Car gone.
Car got.
Just like that.
What in the casino is happening?
Listen,
what in the Goodfellas?
Man, listen.
This man is living in a mob fantasy.
Go
ahead.
Is this his reality that he's created for himself? We can revisit
power
things.
About Diddy.
Can we revisit? And I don't think power is about Diddy because it's a drug dealer. And although I don't know if that's the case, I don't know what Diddy's life is behind the scenes with bricks. I don't know. Okay. What I'm saying is that this alleged behavior could stem from many things, like the power of money. There are rivals who have been murdered.
Right.
There are rivals. There are people on his team who have been murdered.
Yes. Everybody who started with him. Everybody but like Albie. Is Albie Sure's dead now?
No, but he almost died, y'all. Remember?
He almost died though. But yeah, Heavy D dead.
Listen, and shout out to Jaguar Wright for calling this all out though, because although Jaguar did a whole YouTube viral and Facebook, Instagram viral video on me that was completely untrue. Right. She does be spilling the tea though. She did spill the tea on Diddy. And
she's speaking truth to power, and sometimes your power, Carrice.
I just want. If you're gonna make a video of me, just tell the truth. Because at least let one thing be true. But anyway, back to what we're talking about here.
Right. 100%.
So this lawsuit was filed in federal court in Manhattan, and I guess what did they start this relationship in like 2005, and she was 19 years old. Okay, let's talk about you as
Me and You.
Yes,
I love that song.
Can we? Right. Me too.
I love it.
Can we talk about real quick though? At 19,
okay.
19, you meet someone, they're 37.
I have.
How does this go?
So when I was 19, I was living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I did meet somebody who was 36, and I met them when I was 18. Cheryl McNeil says she got more than 30 million, and I said,
"Oh, facts. I'm going with 50.
She is suing.
I think 50 at a minimum,
probably." But yeah, I met someone at 30. I was 18 when I met them. They were 36. They were very controlling. I had to move out of my dorm room. But I had made some really bad decisions because I wasn't smart. I was 19.
Wait, did you say you had to move out of your dorm room?
I had to move out of my dorm room.
I thought you said they. I was about to say,
I had to move out of
why they 37 living in the dorm room?
I had to move out of my dorm room into a hotel so that because they knew where I was staying
to protect yourself,
to protect myself. Yeah, because they knew where my dorm was, and so when I was 19, I was wrapped up in some nonsense, and I had no idea. Now as a 37-year-old man, I would never have done the things that I did when I was 19. Right, I thought I was an adult. I'm like, I'm making adult decisions.
Right, I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm in college. I live on my own.
100%. I have a meal plan.
Man, listen to me, okay? You know what I'm saying? I had a little job or whatever. You know, I was working at
Foley's. I was working at Macy's.
Listen,
I had my own car. I was paying my own car note. I had a credit card. I'm like, I'm an adult.
Grown child. I mean, for me at 19 years old, I had a relationship with my professor who was 31.
Okay.
And at that point I'm thinking like, oh, I'm cool, I'm grown, you know. Yeah. You know, just like you said, I'm grown. I got credit cards and stuff, you know what I mean? I'm grown. You know, I got my own car in my name, you know.
In mine, it wasn't somebody else's car.
Right. In my name. Okay, I got this. All right. So now in hindsight, I'm like, yo, this was definitely a predatorial situation.
Absolutely.
Like, why is a 30-something-year-old person want a teenager? Because I'm still a freaking teenager.
I'm still a teenager, and I think like a teenager. I look like a teenager.
Mickey said 19-year-old Baton Rouge, sir, was a whole adventure, and I am sure it was to all of those of you who were in Baton Rouge in this family at the same time. Okay,
19-year-old Baton Rouge, sir, was a ooh.
And Cheryl says, can you imagine stepping into his world at 19? Well,
into Diddy's world?
Well,
yeah, I would indeed.
Now I cannot deny dating a superstar in my teens who was very well known.
Indeed.
But I didn't have this experience. But allegedly his wife did. She wasn't his wife when I was dating him, by the way.
So we're clear. Okay.
His wife did.
I'm not a homewrecker.
Right? So, I mean, allegedly that was her story. Star Boomerang. I'm just trying to say.
Oh, my God. You know what? I don't have energy for that. I don't have energy for the Easter eggs. Okay.
Back to this bombshell lawsuit, okay? And so she's she demanded $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was, rejected. And he claims his lawyer made a statement that it was blatant blackmail. And I'm going to have to go with stop it. Okay. So now that goes viral. That was like in the evening too.
Right.
It was dark outside.
It was like, I feel like we had, I don't know if it happened Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, but I feel like we would say, see y'all next week. And it was like, boom. Everything exploded. I'm like, yo, what happened?
What is really going on?
Right. We need to log back on. Because what's going on?
So within that, I don't know, 10-hour time frame, okay? Indeed. A couple of other things came out of Zelia Banks. She says, and we are not related. Okay, I just want to know. I want y'all to know I'm not related. Okay. She says that she came into the conversation. She entered the chat child. Okay. So, and this is what happened. She says, this is true. One time Diddy beat her up so bad that he sent her on a 3-week vacation to Hawaii just so no one would see or question how her face got like that.
How badly do you have to beat somebody up that it takes 3 weeks for it to heal? Like, I know how badly you have to beat somebody up, but like, why would you beat your woman up so badly that
because now you become you're controlling your ego. Like, there's so many things that men experience and women too, based off of their ego, and then too the manipulation of a 19-year-old girl.
Right. Man.
And then too, now I'm paying. Now he's paying for her high-rise condo. He's paying for her Rolls Royce. He's paying for her securities. She's 19, so she's like,
what can I say to this man? He's Diddy. No one's gonna believe me. I'm 19. I'm 19-year-old Cassie. I have me and
that's
you.
probably what he's telling her too. He's probably telling her, no one's gonna believe you. No one's gonna believe you. I'm Diddy. Okay.
I'm Diddy. I'm Puff Daddy.
Right. I'm this guy, and I got all of this money, and I can ruin you, and I can ruin your family, and who knows? This is all alleged. I just want y'all to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So,
but I don't know. So Azalea Banks, God bless her.
Yeah, Lark.
Hope Diddy goes to jail and right there.
Man, listen. If Keefe D don't do nothing, okay?
If who?
If Keefe D don't do nothing in his life, I'm gonna need Keefe D to who is calling me, child?
Is that Diddy FaceTiming you right now?
Listen, Linda.
Hello.
So if Keefe D don't do nothing else, I need him to spill the tea on who told him to kill Tupac, and did he collect $1 million?
It was $1 million for Tupac?
He said, allegedly, Diddy told him to kill Tupac for $1 million.
Would you kill Tupac for $1 million?
I'm not killing nobody. Well, you know what?
You better restate. No, nobody that you would you kill a stranger?
I mean, not for hire. Not for hire. No.
Would you let a stranger die for $1 million?
A stranger? Okay, this was a question that came up. Like, listen, hold, not even a stranger. I asked my cousins, right, my younger cousins. I said, hey, if you could get $560 million today, and you had to give up one family member, who would you give up?
I got a list.
I just want you to know I asked them separately, and they all said the same person. Put in the group chat who you think they picked. Okay. Cheryl says, yeah, she thinks that Keefe D got that $1 million. But anyway, back to this. Okay, so we're all, it's nighttime. We're like, oh my gosh, Cassie done dropped the lawsuit out. And she's spilling the tea. And the lawsuit is very detailed. Right. The lawsuit is very detailed. Okay, so they had a whole strategic plan here. And I'm not mad. The thing is that people were commenting and saying things like, all she wants is money and this and yes, she needs to be compensated for this. Right. Yes, I'm gonna need you to run me some money too. Okay.
Well, so anybody who's ever been in a domestic violence situation and they've been hurt by their spouse, or hurt by anybody that they don't even know, there is a compensatory part of being abused or being a victim of somebody, and a part of it is being paid. You said for that
your
abuse.
Inconvenience, for your time, for your pain and suffering. But when you get in a car accident, y'all bet y'all won't die pain and suffering, don't you? Especially if you were not at fault.
Right.
But anyway, back to this.
So go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I just
want you to know that Love Combs, Diddy, Puffy. His annual earnings are about $90 million. She asked for just 30.
Right.
Okay.
A third of it.
Right. Just that. Just a little bit. Just a little something. Just 1 year salary. That's it. That's it. Just a little something. You know.
The first quarter's earnings.
Yeah. I mean, just a little something.
See.
For a time. Okay. And I also too want to kind of bring up some things that are my thoughts and my thoughts only. Now, we do know that Diddy was having some challenges with I'm getting a little bit of feedback from your end, sir.
Oh no.
A little bit of challenges with Diego. I think that's the company that owns his liquor brand Ciroc and the other tequila that he has, right?
De Leon.
So remember, De Leon. So remember a few months ago, he filed a lawsuit against them claiming that they were being racist and they were focusing more on the Don Julio versus his tequila. Okay. Right. And they were like, yes, that's blatantly disrespectful. And no, that is definitely not the case.
Right.
And you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. And then he continued to threaten them again. And I'm like, tequila. a company that owns mind you, Diego owns all the tequila companies.
Right.
In the world, child.
They are the tequilas.
In the world. No one, we're not talking about just here in the United States. Okay,
all the tequilas everywhere.
There are some, they either own the farm, they own something. Okay, right. They have a lot of money. Okay, they have a lot of money. And I would imagine you saying that this is racist. I got time to stir up the pot if that's the type of game you want to play. Okay, right, y'all can do whatever y'all want with that information. Back to this CASSIE case. Okay. So we went to sleep. We woke up.
It was settled.
Cassie and Diddy reach a settlement. Cassie and Diddy reach a settlement in this bombshell lawsuit just one day after it was filed. Okay, I am not mad. So
how long? So we found out in 10 hours. Yeah,
I would say 12 hours max.
That he found out, and that you don't think he had it before?
No, I think that he got it. He got it. Whomever was at the courthouse when it was filed said, "Holy shit, I will call and get this money real fast so I can leak this." So probably within an hour.
Within an hour of it being filed, he knew what was happening.
He probably knew, and we knew too. And we knew too. I don't know. I feel like we probably knew. We probably knew before he knew.
I'm just trying to see the time between the time.
Have you ever filed a lawsuit against someone? Okay, yes. So you go to the courthouse, right? Let's say if you're a lawyer, the lawyer goes to the courthouse. They go to this little, section of the courthouse. They get whatever notaries, they get whatever things stamped and filed. Boom, they submit it, and it goes to the judge. Okay. Right. Now I'm sure in certain circumstances you can expedite this situation. You can expedite it, especially if you already know the judge. Right, you can say, "Hey, can you put this on the judge's desk right now?" Yeah, right. So I'm gonna say,
and extenuating circumstances and all of that. Yeah.
We could pull up the lawsuit right now. I think we can pull it up. It should have a stamp. Record. It should have a stamp.
Yes. Lawsuits are public record.
So we're gonna use the Googler.
Normally, when you file a lawsuit, right? You go to the court, and before it's even on the website, because when you pull it up, you can see it. Like it's like 24 to 48 hours before the website is updated. So somebody had to be, movies where running out of the court, like hear ye like that. Like they had to be doing that. Like somebody had to be down there.
Somebody had. Okay, so let's say you work at the. You're the one putting the stamps on, right? You collecting the money for the lawsuit. What you doing?
If I see the Diddy lawsuit come across my desk.
Yes. What's your next move?
You want me to be honest, or you want me to? Honestly,
I want you to tell the damn truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I'm gonna be taking pictures of this lawsuit. I'm like, Che, hey, E, look at this.
What's our next move?
I got some tea. I'm not even gonna file it yet. What are we gonna do? I'm putting a stamp on it now, but I need you to get it rolling because we need to break this. That's probably what I would do as me. But it
was filed on the 19th. It was filed on 11/19. Today is 11/21.
This the 21st.
This was only a few days ago.
2 days ago.
No, I'm sorry. It says 11/09.
11. Okay, that's what I'm like. What? It
was filed 11/09.
11/09. So a week later.
And it's 35 pages long.
Yo. Somebody ran out of the courthouse and told him.
Okay, so and then too, when it all went live and all of that stuff happened, he was probably like, "Oh, wait a minute." Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
So Cheryl, who is my attorney, says that this was. I'm sorry to put you on blast, ma'am. Okay. This was done in federal court, so she's sure someone tipped him off. I mean, okay, sir, you running out the court. Wait, what are we? How much are we collecting? How much is this worth?
For me?
Yeah. Okay, how much we need to collect? And are we gonna release it as well? Like, do we have to like collect and then also to release?
I'll take 7.5.
7.5. Mm-hmm. You don't think that's a high number? You don't think that's
to not release it?
She says thousands. At least a mil.
I'm gonna need 1.75 million, so that after taxes I can still have $1 million.
Okay, so
I'm gonna need whatever.
But are we able to release? Are we also able to release it on the Shady ass tea?
That would have to be negotiations. To be able to still be able to talk about it. Yeah, I gave you first right of refusal, right? And then we need to be able to release it.
Yeah, we know with show. We know we have released some exclusive. They sell to the media all the time. We never have to pay for any, but we have gotten some tea. Okay.
Yeah, and so like I would give Diddy first right of refusal, right? But I'm gonna release it. I got the pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I already know what it is.
It's public record. So I'm going to talk about it as just, do you want to have a say on how I say it? Right? Because we can,
right.
Maybe we could talk about how I report it, but I'm going to report it. Like that. What about you?
Okay,
what's your number?
I feel like my number might be 3 million, and then we have to be able to release it.
Yeah.
On the Shady ass tea.
See, between us, we got $4.75 million.
And because our split is 30-30-40. You know what I mean? I got you. 30-30-40.
Right. See.
We good.
And so she's like 30-40. I'm about to pass out. But yeah, I'm definitely releasing.
So this was after they settled the case, they released a statement. Statement says, I have, from Diddy, okay, by the way. I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura, said in a statement the same day, said, I want to thank my family and fans and lawyers for their unwavering support.
Come on, unwavering? 50 million.
50 million.
Because if we go to court, they're going to give me more.
Right? Well, first of all, if you give me a gag order, 50 million.
Right. I can't ever
talk
about
that 30 million is no longer applicable. No. You need me to have a gag order? Cool, 50 million.
50.
Period. And I'm going home to my husband.
And I'm going home to my husband. We be talking shit about you on the internet.
Like, don't even give a shit.
Right.
Okay. And his last name fine. And he fine.
Okay.
What's up, Mr. Hollingsworth? Yeah.
So, speaking of, because her husband's a trainer, right?
He was her trainer.
He was her trainer.
He was her trainer.
So he got tea too.
I guess with Diddy was paying the bills. Okay.
Oh, he got tea as well.
Tea.
Right. Your boy Slim Thug said the only reason she's doing this is because she left Diddy and went with the trainer, and the apartment got too small, and the money started running out, and she needed another way to it's like a quick cash grab, essentially is what he was saying. Because if it was really happening, why didn't she say something then? Why was she waiting until now? Why is she asking for money? Why she just don't want to just tell it what it is? She's trying to take him down. And I saw somebody else on the internet say they were trying to take down another black man. I'm like,
can we just play this? Because
play it.
He sound like a fool.
With that coming back and getting Bill Cosby, coming back and getting Puff, I don't believe in that, man. When shit go down, speak on that shit right then, or it's out of it. It should be null and void. You shouldn't even have no type of nothing. You shouldn't be able to do shit unless you let the people know what happened immediately. There should be a time limit on this shit. What happened was you got around them motherfuckers stand up on love shit. This is what happened. I'm gonna tell you what always happened, right? You was
okay. So real quick, let me just see if this second part is on here.
Yeah, because he said what always happened. So when people get abused,
we'll just
right?
not. Okay.
When people get abused, they always. I think that it was always the phrasing. It's always in what people say, right? So he's not saying that Diddy didn't abuse her. He's not saying that Cosby didn't abuse those women. He's saying that if you get abused, you should immediately run and tell the police that you're being abused. Otherwise, your abuse is invalid.
Right. As though clearly he does not understand that it's probably a scary process if you're in a relationship with someone so powerful and you get abused, and then finally you get away, and then finally you get to go to therapy, and then finally you get to, address the situation, and then you're like, I got time.
Right. And who's to say she didn't go to the police, right? Like, let's say you went to the police and Diddy is your man currently, right? And you walk into the police station and like, oh, hey, Cassie, where's Sean?
Or I'll be over at the house later on.
Right. You call
to
the
protect
police.
Y'all.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, and you call the police, and then he calls and says, hey, my friend just called me and told me you called them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we don't know what her reasoning behind, or anybody's reasoning behind, reporting abuse is. Mm-hmm. And if you've never been abused, and we talked about this earlier, if you've never been abused, and I agree with you, if you've never been abused, if you've never had to endure abuse from somebody, to have a comment on how an abused person should respond it does make you sound a little ignorant, right?
Yeah.
Because you have no concept of what that feels like.
Right. And the thing is, I've never been in an abusive situation. I've never been in a situation like that. But for me, I'm like, I know that there's a process through processing how I feel. And then also, too, people being afraid. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many, different circumstances that could happen that could cause this delay. So for him saying that was trash. Then he gets back on the internets, okay? He gets back on the internet and says, oh, I'm sorry, but basically I still feel that way that I feel. Like, sir, you just stay off the internet. We okay without your comments.
No one was like,
I thought you was handsome for a second there. But now you sound like a fool, and we're good.
Paula J. Patton, not Paula J. Parker. Sorry, Paula J. Parker. Patton is somebody else. Paula Patton is somebody else.
Child, I was about to be like, not Patton, not Miss Patton. Child.
No, Paula J. Parker, who is the mama, the voice on the Trudy Proud on the Proud Family. She was the girlfriend with the gold braids on Friday. She's been around a while. She says that Cassie is the first sex slave she's ever heard of that got to choose her partners in a 5-star hotel, and that she knew what she was getting into, getting with Diddy, and that Diddy is just playing the game that it is. He didn't create the game. It does, to me, her responses sound like somebody who has also probably been abused and assaulted. And that she's internalized that and said, okay, well, this is what it's supposed to be. Right. This is this is kind of where my value lies. Right. And kind of is maybe even a little bit envious of the fact that her abuser wasn't Diddy. Right. Because then I could do.
Because I didn't get the high rise in the sky in the Rolls Royce.
I just got abused. Right. And now I don't have the career. So to back up the abuse.
Right. Real quick, because we got to get on, because we got some stuff to talk about. But real quick, case was dismissed. Okay. All right. She collected her $50 million and kept it fucking moving. And hopefully other people come out if this is all the truth and say what they have to say. There was an accusation in the lawsuit about someone being held over the balcony. That person allegedly was Wale. Wale was the friend that was held over the balcony for looking at Cassie the wrong way.
See, that's what I'm saying. This man is living in like this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
In the 5 heartbeats.
T.
He is living as though he is
red,
big red. Okay, so back to this. So that happened. They said Wale was the guy being held over. Wale denies that that story is valid.
Would you admit that?
I wouldn't have said anything. He didn't even have to come back and say anything. He should just been quiet. Because now you look guilty.
Right. It was you, Wale.
Right, it was you, okay? And then the latest news that was just released having to do with a story that, one of the situations that happened. Diddy reportedly pressured CASSIE into getting breast implants. Mm-hmm. Then he demanded that she remove them the next day, despite the health risk, because he thought that they were too big.
Okay, so there's a couple of people who have problems in this story, right? So Diddy being crazy, forcing somebody to get new titties is wild. First and foremost, like my titties, the titties I got is the titties I got. Okay?
I mean, forcing someone, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Forcing somebody to get
people get new boobs all the time.
If you want new titties, get new titties, right? I'm not like anti new titties, right? Let me just say that.
Right. Armani said, I heard it was Wale. It was.
It was Wale.
Here. I ain't even gonna say alleged. Okay. Alleged.
You hold him over to Wale, okay?
Alleged.
Alleged.
No, allege. That's where he was held over.
Wale over alleged, okay?
Alleged.
But again, yeah. I'm very. If you want new titties, get them, right? But you telling me that I gotta get new titties because you want me to have new titties is wild. Whether you paying for them or not. And then the next day, after that, I got the little bandage around the titties and on the thing with the little drain.
And went through whatever pain, because this was 2005, so I'm sure it was a whole different process than it is today.
Did she get the armpit titties? Did she get the under the thing titties? Did she get under the, which one did she get? Right? Because there's different titty procedures, right? She probably got the best titty procedure in 2005, right? But then you got to go back the next day and get the whole titty taken out. Did he send her back to
not even go back? She probably didn't even get a chance to really recover. So anyway, long story short, child, Diddy might be wild.
They say Diddy's a monster.
And I think that at this point, I think that what he did was, and I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning, is that I think what happened was he sent a lawsuit to the wrong mofos who got way more power, and now the shit is hitting the fan.
Right.
Keepy D over there singing like a canary. Okay, CASSIE like, I got time and I'm gonna need that bread. So that's the word.
Get a new boob. We're definitely still swollen.
Right.
New boobs is definitely still swollen. They could use them breast implants again. Man, listen. Okay, so long story short, what's your your end result? What's your conclusion on this situation? So we can transition. We're going to be talking about the will book. Go ahead. My conclusion is that Diddy is probably way scarier than many of us realize. What about you?
Yeah, my conclusion is that I have seen the narcissistic behavior over time after the sudden death of his kid's mom and longtime girlfriend. And all of a sudden he had this depression and awakening where he now is calling himself love and he's peaceful and he has these love parties every week.
Ooh.
It screams guilt. To me, alleged guilt. It screams guilt and it screams I murdered somebody and now,
but I didn't think it was gonna hurt me to murder.
And also too, I just want y'all to know who don't know this. He has a statue of her in the backyard now.
Is it a statue?
All right. So one thing that we have been doing over the past couple of weeks is reading the will book. Okay, and this is why. It's because we wanted to go ahead and address the tea. Why everybody hates Jada. Okay. I don't know why everybody hates Jada. And we wanted to figure it out. I wanted to figure it out. So I think that the only fair way to do that is to see if Will was spilling the tea and then Jada spills the tea, which sounds like, from my reading, that's what happened. Okay. And for whatever reason, it's giving me, I don't like black women being transparent. Okay. All of the men that's out there mad at Jada is giving me, I don't like black women being transparent. That's what it's giving me. But we can go on.
Okay.
So let's
That's an
discuss
interesting
chapter
perspective.
1.
Okay.
What's chapter one titled?
Chapter 1 is titled Fear. Okay, so before we get started, all of the chapters in this book are one word, right? And they're like, I don't want to say I don't know, fear, fantasy, performance. It's like that, right? They're all different like attributes I feel of him,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like building on him. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is fear, though, and the first
And those of you who
sentence.
are also reading with us and or have read it, don't forget to drop your comments and your thoughts as well on this book in the comment section.
The first sentence of this chapter is, "I've always thought of myself as a coward." When I when I when I read it, I was like, "Whoa, okay, here we go." And it begins. It kind of I thought it was a very interesting place to start, even though the chapter was fear. I thought
Mm-hmm.
starting out saying you always thought of yourself as a coward, and then how he explains that through the chapter what that meant for him to be a coward.
Mm-hmm.
Was very, very interesting. He talked about his mother. He watching his mother be punched in the head and like knocked out, and
By
by his
his
father,
father. Mm-hmm.
Daddy O, who's also Willard Carroll Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think I resonated with where he saw himself in his family as the only person in his family who couldn't fight, the only person in his family who couldn't stand up for himself. Right, in this very first chapter, he's talking about that and like who his sister was to him and who his parents were. Um, I really thought that especially his relationship with his father and who his father was. He was a rough guy, went to the military, became a perfectionist, and like ran his home like a military. But then if he got upset or got drunk, all of that shit went out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I personally, his father kind of reminded me of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much Will, but who his father was and who his father
Mm-hmm.
saw himself as. I kind of saw myself in his father a little bit, and it made me a little nervous about like how I treat my son. It made me like think about like, am I being that way with my son? But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a really powerful chapter for sure. There was a part that almost brought me to tears when he was talking about his father and how even though his father was an imperfect person, he never abandoned his post. He never left him alone. He never went hungry. He always had a roof over his head. He was still a good father. And a lot of the things he learned about being a man, he learned from his father. That's something also I can relate to. Like my dad was is far from perfect. He's not a dead man, but is far from perfect. But a lot of things I understand about what a man is and how I learned how to be a man was from my father. And so I respect that a lot.
Yeah, I thought that starting that off too with that the coward statement, it kind of like now it kind of addressed things. But then again, I thought that if people read that first chapter, they're thinking that and the thing is, people read this book thinking about Jada.
Yes,
you're not reading the book thinking only about Will, and I think that you're bracing yourself for like, this is why Jada did this. This is so now the coward thing starts, and now I'm like, whomever read this first part of the chapter automatically is going to be like, that's why Jada was go out and emasculate him and do all of these things, and instead of continuing to read. So yeah, and the situation with his father, I'm like, his mama a trooper for even dealing with those shenanigans, because no, we're good.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know what that's like. I don't know what that's like to have several children, a man who's a provider and essentially a good man, but then beats on you. Like from here, I don't know what that's like. Mickey says, it seems like Lil Willard struggled to truly identify himself. So he latched onto ideas of who he thought he should be. Agreed. I agree with that.
Which is something that a lot of men do. A lot of men don't. And a lot of men won't admit that. They won't say, I don't know really what a man is. So this is my idea of what it should be. So you have this like perception of, okay, a man is strong. And so strong is overpowering somebody. Strong doesn't always mean vulnerability. Strong to as a young man means I need to be stronger than her. Right. And so if you have a woman who stands up for herself, or a woman who has an opinion and it challenges yours, you feel, because you're not you're not a fully realized human sometimes as a man, right? You feel unheard, and you feel insecure in that. And so it does make you a little angry, a lot angry, when a woman's like, I don't like what you just said to me. Right. And you're like, how dare you challenge me as a man? I'm strong. I'm bigger than you. Right. And so, yeah, you do kind of latch on to what you think you should be. And it takes growth and like somebody who's patient with you to kind of move past that.
Yeah, for sure. We can kind of bundle some chapters in. So chapter 2, chapter 3, what were they about?
So fantasy,
and I just want y'all to know I left my book at home. So this is where we are right now.
Chapter 2 and 3 was fantasy and performance. So he's talking about like his imagination in fantasy, and like his I think this is the one he was talking about, his boots. His cowboy boots?
Like he imagined. So real quick, I'll just tell the story and then we can go to chapter 4. So in the book, he talked about how he was on the basket. First of all, he wore cowboy boots. Everybody else was out here wearing sneakers and Converse and Jordans and whatever. And he was wearing cowboy boots because that was his thing. So already he's presented himself as being this corny kid, right? Or people looking at him as though he's a corny kid. But he's like, I like my boots. He's on the basketball court and somebody says, I bet you can't dunk. And he's like, I can dunk. And he's like, I didn't already imagine it. He was like, I imagine everything I can do. I just put it in my imagination and it happens. Right. So, and within that, he talks about his imaginary friend who also ate dinner with them, and his mom put a plate out for his imaginary friend and all of those things. So his imagination was, pretty, broad.
Vivid. Right.
He goes to, he's on the basketball court. They're like, I bet you can't do this. Mind you, he has on his cowboy boots. Okay. Said, I bet you $10 you can, you can't do this, and, so on and so forth. And he's like, man, I already did it. I already know I could do it. So, so he goes and he imagines himself while doing it, goes to do a dunk. And he says he gets up and he's flying in the air and he opens his eyes and he's laying on his back because he busts his head open. And now he has to go to the hospital because the paramedics came. And long story short, he didn't dunk. But in his imagination, he was, that guy.
Right, 100%.
And I don't think that that's wrong. Like, I definitely project and manifest certain energies. Like, I know I can do this, so I definitely manifest those things. Fast forward.
There was a story you told me last week about something that you knew you could do. When you said you went to a pool party.
My gosh. So speaking of that story, so that story of Will and his dunk, right? So I just remember I was like in the 2nd grade, right? And I had this friend that lived down the street. She had a pool, right? With my little white friend. We went to school together, we was in Miss Strippy's class, okay? So my friend said, hey, do you want to come swimming over my house? I'm like, yeah, right? So I asked my mom, and I, get my bathing suit and my towel, and I'm looking cute, and I'm walking down the street to her house. And I remember I went into the backyard, went to the gate of the backyard, and I said, I can freaking swim, right? I jumped from 6 foot. I jumped into 6, dove in, okay, like a swimmer, like a mofo, okay? Dove in 6 foot, swam all the way to 3 feet, got out the water, and was like, that was my first time swimming. The difference between me and Will is I was successful.
Right.
I could not believe I did that, but I was like, okay, I see these people are watching me. I'm the black girl here, and I'm definitely going to swim. And that day I did. So that's the word on that. Okay. So what are like some key points from chapter 1 to chapter 12 that you kind of took away?
There's one I have marked when he's talking about pain, and how he had never. He's talking about heartbreak and how it should be considered a disease, and how he dealt with heartbreak and shopping and rampant sexual intercourse. was how he dealt with that, and how he had never had sex with anybody else other than like Melanie, I think was the name of the girl that he had sex with, and so he was like how to process heartbreak is something that I wish I would have learned much sooner in life, right? And didn't wait till I was an old man.
All of us.
I wish there was something that's
because heartbreak will have you thinking you about to die, child.
Heartbreak really feels like your heart is broken.
Broken. Like somebody just ripped that shit out and just sits around.
Like I don't even have it anymore. It belongs to this person. Took my heart with them, and so like how that kind of childish way of processing of heartbreak is like I just need to do things and be busy, right? And that is something I think I'm still trying to get over doing, right? And being able to like sit in that pain and sit and say, okay, acknowledge what's kind of happening inside my body and be present in that feeling. I think is something that I'm taking away. I think I didn't expect for his book to be retrospective, right? I didn't. I expected it to be like shallow and I'll be completely. I thought it was going to be shallow and dumb, and I'm like, this is so to read his book and like feel something, I think is impressive, and like even the way he's like telling the story of himself, right? And I was sharing this with you before the show started. I'm not sure if I'm learning about the real Will or I'm learning about the Will he created, and this is the
right for us to view.
Yeah, for us to view. Right. And so I think I'll know at the end what it is.
Yeah. And I think that's what he's trying to do is kind of let us know, like, this is who he created. And one thing that I kind of took away was he talked about, like, 4 of his previous girlfriends and his ex-wife, right? And I want y'all to know that Jada didn't only talked about Tupac and they're just friends. Okay, so stop. With the shenanigans, okay? This man is talking about all of his exes and the full like story of their relationships and how, and how basically how he was controlling, how his ego, got, interfered with his relationships and how all of them left him. Okay? Like it was nothing. It was just he wasn't who he presents himself to be on the outside. And
like
I think
when he told the girl she couldn't smoke weed for 30 days.
Right. And then he even said with his posture. So I'm like, when he was talking about that, how he had this girlfriend, she was smoking weed, and he was like, I bet you can't stop smoking weed for 30 days to prove that you are not addicted, because he says he's never smoked weed in his life. And so he says he told her that, but he says that his stance was like he was it seemed to me that he was like bullying her. Right. Like he had this stance of like, I bet like right. I bet you won't. Yeah, do what I said. And I think that it's interesting that he had that type of behavior. And he goes on and he repeats this behavior up until he gets with Jada. And I think that he did have the same behavior with Jada at some point. And she was like, hold up, okay? Right. I might be little, but I'm from Baltimore, okay? Indeed. So I just think that it's an interesting read. I think that, there's a lot. Okay, there's a lot, like even like him first meeting Jada before he met his wife, by the way. First meeting Jada, and what did Jada say?
Whatever, nigga.
and dipped and didn't say nothing else. And then he tried to, go to see her at the Different World, and he was like, I put my chains on, I was looking, you know what I mean? It was all his ego because he was gonna pick her up because he's Will Smith. Right. They're gonna
come in, they're gonna see me, everybody gonna scream.
Everybody gonna scream and be like, and she's not gonna have any choice but to notice that I'm there. And she didn't notice he was there. I was trying to know. She didn't notice. And I think that when you get in relationships with people, like you learn like who their representative is. Like if you go that deep with someone, you learn like, okay, that was their representative. And now I have to do all of these things to break down these barriers so I can really get to the root of who this person is. And I feel like that's what they went through in their relationship. And he basically he said, oh man, and I might be ahead of myself, but they went to therapy Jada and Will. And he said that they had to write down priorities. Like, what's the priority? And he says that he handed his to Jada, and his first priority was him. And then it was Jada. Then it was the kids. And then it was his career. And he said that she just started crying. And because that was his ego. Right. His ego is me. I'm the breadwinner here. I have to take care of the house. I have to take care. We have to live this lifestyle. Right. So listen, I just think that y'all should definitely keep on reading.
I was shocked that I was more interested in him and like understanding who he is, and he is making more sense. His image is making more sense, and like this idea of him is making, because other than what he's always presented, I'm like, Will Smith is just this guy on TV who's the movie star, right? And so the human behind the movie star is starting to come to light, which is important, I think.
Right. So those of you who want to continue on, we're gonna go to what chapter? What do you think? We can go to chapter 20.
Yeah, we can do 20.
Chapter 20, and we'll get into more. We'll save more time so we can have more open dialogue about it.
Hopefully nothing else happens with Diddy between now and then, or no other crazy things. Dame Fame says I'm late. Are we talking about Will's book? We are, Dame Fame.
We are, and we're about to get off. But listen, Dame, we are about to read chapters 12 through 20, and we're gonna talk about that next Tuesday. No, we probably gonna have to talk about it. We'll let y'all know.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But probably next Tuesday, we're gonna talk about it. But yes, read the book, because now we got to read Jada's book, and Will has definitely he has stamped everything that I thought and what the perceptions are about how people feel about Jada. It's not even what y'all think, and it's him.
I don't think it's I don't think it's
100% him, but it's definitely 75%. Okay, 75% him, child.
Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Sir, where can the people find you on social media?
IG, the Sir Armstrong. Facebook, Sir Armstrong.
All right, you can find me on every single social media platform at eCarrice. That's ECARRICE. And I guess we will see y'all next Tuesday. Bye, y'all.